If you're tired of having to manage multiple chats for TikTok, for Kick, for Twitch, for YouTube across multiple platforms and trying to keep up with everything, in this video, I'm going to show you how to utilize a free tool called Multistream Ninja that's going to allow you to be able to have all of your chats in one place, give you flexibility to be able to customize it. It doesn't matter if you're on Windows or if you're on Mac. So I'm going to show you how to set this up inside of OBS Studio so that way you can see your chat all in one place. I'll also show you how to show your chat on stream if you want everyone to be able to see your chat, and then make sure you stick around to the end, because even though you're multi-streaming, you may not have a lot of people in your stream watching your stream or even chatting. So at the end, I'm going to share 3 things that you need to do to get more people to find your stream and to get more chat engagement when people are in your stream. So let's go ahead and get started here. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to socialstream.ninja. And again, I'll put a link in the description of this video. Once you're here, you're going to select download now. That's going to bring you to a page just like this. Is going to ask you to decide on whether you want to download this for Windows, for Mac, or for Linux. Now, this app does have a browser extension and the standalone app, so you can choose which one you want. I encourage you to do the standalone app because it's going to get the updates a lot faster. Okay, so once you select the standard app, you're going to select which operating system you're going to want to utilize. Once you've downloaded it, it's going to bring you to a page just like this. This is going to be the Social Ninja app. And you're going to see a welcome message. This is going to disappear once you've gone ahead and started adding in all the chat sources that you want to be able to add. Here's the beautiful thing. You don't even need to log into platforms. You just need to have the username for that platform to be able to bring in the chat, which is super exciting and makes it super easy. Now you're going to see some notices here, like using this application may potentially violate terms of service on social media platforms. And again, there are some TOS when it comes to multi-streaming where you can't really show other platforms. But way I'm going to show you how to set this up, because you can customize it, you can remove the little logo icon from the chat messages. That way it just looks like one single chat and you can't tell whether it's coming from Twitch, whether it's coming from Kick, whether it's coming from YouTube. And again, you ultimately want to be able to create an experience for your viewers, and they don't need to see that chat's coming from multiple different platforms. But it's personal preference. I'm going to show you how to turn it off if you want to, but you can go ahead and do that. If at any point throughout this experience you're not kind of like you're stuck and you're like, hey, I don't understand what's going on, there is also a tutorial video that you can walk through to be able to see in detail even more features you can go ahead and add. And then if you do end up getting stuck, I'll go ahead and put a link to the Discord for Multistream Ninja where you can come in here and be able to ask questions and get support if you get stuck or something that I mentioned in this video you weren't able to figure out, right? So that's going to be there for that support. So once you're here, you're going to see in the top right, it's going to say production active, and then you also have the beta. So certain times there's going to be certain features that are going to be available on the beta for you to be able to test. Now, keep in mind that the beta may be a little bit buggy based on the updates. So it's always important to be able to utilize the production one to make sure that that's the most stable version of Multistream Ninja. So let's go ahead and begin the process of adding in our chat messages so you can see how easy this is. So the first thing you're going to see here is going to say YouTube username. This is going to go ahead and pop up a window that's going to say enter in your username and your channel. So let's go ahead and get my username here. Now I'm going to utilize the Valorant. So all you want to do is grab the @ and grab that, come back to Multistream Ninja and paste that in the box that popped up that says enter in your username. You're going to press OK. Once you press OK, it's going to show you that the YouTube channel is connected. You're then going to be able to see the option to select live sources. Now, what this means is that if you're running a stream that is both horizontal and vertical, you can pull in both the horizontal chat and the vertical chat at the same time. So the way you would do that is that you'll see here that we have the horizontal chat selected, and then we have here the vertical stream. If this is the vertical stream, you just want to make sure you select shorts, so that way it triggers it as a short. Then you want to select activate selected. You'll see the chat window pop up, and then you can go ahead and exit out of it and let it just run in the background, right? So now we have this here in place. Now you can see here that we have now both our YouTube live and our YouTube shorts both activated. So now let's go ahead and add in our Twitch account here. So to be able to add in our Twitch, we'll come back to Twitch. Twitch, and we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna grab our username, and again, you wanna be able to be live. You don't need to be live to add this, but once you're live, your chat's gonna go ahead and pop up. So we'll come back here to Social Stream Ninja, and we'll do the same thing and enter in our username. And now you'll see here that we'll also have the chat, and now we just wanna hit activate source. Once you activate source, you're gonna see the chat pop-up window pop up, and then you can go ahead and close it. Then we can do the same thing here for Kick. Click on the Kick username, and then we'll come back here to Kick, and we'll grab here our username. Again, it's gonna be in your URL. We'll come back here to Kick just like we did, and then we'll go ahead and input the Kick username on the pop-up window that came up. You'll see here that now we have our Kick chat. We'll hit activate source, and once you've done that, again, the Kick chat will pop up. You can go ahead and close it out, and then let's go ahead and add in our last one, which is going to be our TikTok. So we'll click on the TikTok. It's going to ask us for our TikTok username. We're going to come here and grab that here. So again, we'll just copy that place it inside of the pop-up. And then once you've gone ahead and pasted that in there, we'll come back here to Social Stream Ninja, and you'll see here that now we have our Kick, and we'll activate our source. The Kick chat will go ahead and pop up. We can close that there. And now you can see here that we have both our YouTube horizontal, our YouTube shorts, our Twitch, our Kick, and our TikTok. And then if you stream to any other destination that you see listed here, you can go ahead and add those as well. And then if you don't see the one, you can click other chat site. So now that we have everything added, now we want to go ahead and bring this into OBS and customize it, and then be able to show it on stream. So you'll come up here to the top where it says link and settings. This is now going to give you the different options for you to be able to customize. Now, one thing you want to keep in mind is that you're going to have preset overlay themes. So what that means is that you're going to see here that it's going to say full customization, and that's going to mean that you're going to have full customization of what you're able to do. This is the one that I prefer to utilize, but if you prefer these different themes, you can go through these themes and you'll see here that you'll have limited availability to be able to customize it. So I'm going to use full customizations because again, we want to be able to make some slight adjustments like removing some logos, moving some stuff to make it look clean. So what we're going to do first is you're going to click on the menu. This is where you select hide menu bar. So when you pop up the chat, there's going to be a menu bar and you don't want that to show. So the first thing you do is go ahead and hide. And again, I'm going to show you the most important customizations to be able to make, but feel free to go through each one of these and make the changes that you feel comfortable with. So the first thing is I check and say, make the font icons and menu smaller, okay? Because I'm going to make it bigger later and I'm going to show you how. Then I want to select dark mode. This is personal preference, up to you, right? Then I like to go ahead and fade out the top of the overlay. And then it's up to you if you want to show the viewer count per source. So in the chat at the top right, what I'm going to show you here is that you can have the viewer count for every platform that you're streaming to if you want to. If you don't want to show that, leave it off. I'm going to leave it on so you can see what it looks like once we add this to OBS. Then you can move down here to message mechanics. Okay. This is where you can start to add additional customization as far as like if you want to auto hide messages, like there's so many features for you to customize. You can go crazy. But the one that I utilize is message start at the bottom rather than the top. I want to see chat moving up as opposed to moving down. It just makes it easier for me to read chat when I'm streaming. And then again, you can decide if you want to add any additional things here as well. All these extra features that just, again, allows you to do so much when you go through this process. So we'll come here to where it says message text to speech. If you want to adjust any of that, you can. Again, in the description of this video, I've put a link to the Discord if you have any questions or issues with any some additional features that you want to be able to add. So what I'm going to show you here is visibility. This is where you can hide the source icon. So what this means is that when you have your chat running across multiple platforms and you're showing it on stream, if you don't want to kind of get in trouble with TOS, and again, it's not something that's monitored as much, but a way to kind of combat that is to hide the source icons, and then you can't tell where the chat is coming from, right? Whether it's coming from Twitch, from Kick, from YouTube, or TikTok. So this is what I go ahead and select, but if you want to be able to show it, you can go ahead and do that. But you have the option to be able to hide Twitch messages or only show Twitch messages. It's up to you what customizations you want to do. You can hide Kick messages, you can hide YouTube messages. Again, the customizations are endless. I also select hide timestamp because again, I want to make it as clean as possible and I don't need the timestamp of when that message was sent. And then I like to come down here and also hide messages that start with exclamation mark. Most of the time, if you're using exclamation mark, what that means is that somebody's trying to trigger a command and we don't want that to show up in our chat message. So again, you can decide what you want to show, what you want to be able to hide. Then we can come here to the styling. This is where we can start to kind of adjust the things that we want to see. background shading, customize donation colors. So again, I'm not gonna go into detail into every single one here, because once you get in here, you can start tweaking this, you can start adjusting it, you can start testing it, and it's super easy to go through this actual process. You can also adjust the effects. You can also go ahead and give options to delete names for hosts, don't show bot messages, right? Which I think this is something important that I would go ahead and select, because again, if I have a bot that's triggering to say, hey, follow me on Twitch, I don't want that to pop up, because I don't want to pull people into another platform that they're not comfortable being at, right? So I'll just leave that there. Once you've gone through all of your customizations, okay, and this is super important, every time you make a change to any kind of feature on the chat, the link at the top changes. So if you copy this link and you put it inside of OBS and you come back here and make tweaks, make sure that you recopy this link, because it's gonna go ahead and update with the changes that you made. So once we are satisfied with the changes that we want, we're going to go ahead and hit copy. You can copy the link here, or you can copy this here, okay? So once you've copied that link, what you're gonna wanna do is you wanna hit this little plus icon. You're gonna come to where it says browser, and then you want to go ahead and name this, let's say chat multi. I'm gonna press OK. And then what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna remove this URL here, and I'm going to go ahead and place this and paste the link that we just copied. I'm gonna come down and hit refresh cache, press OK. And now you're gonna see here that our chat is starting to roll in, okay? So now, this is how you would go ahead and show it on stream, okay? But if you don't want to show it on stream and you just want to be able to view the chat, then what you want to be able to do is you want to come here to a browser and you want to paste that link in the browser. Once you do, you're going to see here that now your stream is going to show up, and then here are the icons as far as how many views you have on those platforms. Okay, so this allows you to be able, if you have an Elgato teleprompter, to put it on your teleprompter, to put it on another monitor. You can have customization now where you move this if you don't want your stream to be able to see it. Most of the time, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to be able to have your chat on a screen and a monitor to be able for you to view it. And then you also want to be able to have your chat to be able to view it. Okay. So now what your chat will see will be something like this. Okay. Where they'll see the chat option showing, and then you can see the icons and the chat icons as far as how many views you have on that platform. So again, you can decide if you want to be able to show that or if you don't. And if you do, you can just uncheck it, or you can hold option and then you can kind of crop that out and be able to show it that way. So this is going to be the easiest way to be able to go ahead and start utilizing the multi-chat. So now, what I want you to see is that you can continue to customize this if you want to. Okay, you can also scroll down here and be able to see an option that shows you a featured chat overlay. What that means is that you can copy this link and it's going to allow you to select on certain chat messages and bring them up. Now, I encourage you that if you're going to have the chat message, all the chats on the screen, and then also have one pop up, it's going to look a little cluttered. So I would decide where you want to be able to do that. Okay. But again, the most important thing was consolidating all of your chats from Twitch, Kick, YouTube Short, YouTube Horizontal, TikTok, all in one place, and being able to bring it inside of OBS the way that I did here. But remember, as I mentioned before, now that you have this chat set up, okay, the biggest thing is understanding how do you actually get more people to come into your chat, and then how do you actually get your chat to be popping the way that you saw that chat was moving there. So I'm going to teach you 3 things that you need to start doing today to be able to start seeing some growth. So the first thing that I want you to understand here is there's this thing that I like to call, which is create little soldiers. So what do I mean by that? Create little soldiers. What I mean by soldiers is that these are pieces of content. So you can create long form content, okay? And that can be on YouTube. And these can be like tutorials. It can be entertainment. It can be clips from your stream. You just need to create content. And the reason why I call them little soldiers is because when you create content, this content works for you 24/7, especially if you're posting content on YouTube that pretty much live forever if you do it right, okay? Meaning that when you're offline, you'll still have growth. And what you want to accomplish is you want people to constantly be finding out about you even when you're not live. So the other piece is that you can do short form content, okay? And this can be on TikTok, this can be on YouTube Shorts, this can be on IG, okay? Like you just want to think about creating content. So when you create these little soldiers, those little soldiers are going to be out there working for you, getting you viewers, getting people to find out about your stream and what you're trying to do. And then they also get to get a feel for your personality and what you're trying to create. Okay, so that's going to be the two things you can do to create little soldiers. The next thing you want to make sure that you're doing is that you're building, okay, your community, and that can be on Discord. Okay, and if you don't have a Discord set up, I have a video on my channel showing you how to set up a Discord and how to get people to join it and actually stay. And I'll put that in the description of this video. Okay. So these are the things you want to be able to do. And the reason why you want to create content is so people can find you when you're offline. And the reason why you want to build a community is because if you're offline and they watch that video, you want to get them to your Discord so you can connect with them. That way, next time you go live, they show up. Okay. So that's going to be super important. But okay, just because you get people over into your live stream doesn't mean they're going to start engaging with your live stream and your chat's going to be popping automatically. A lot of people like to lurk initially. So this is why the second thing you need to do is you need to create the convo. Okay. And what I mean by that is that you need to be prepared at all times. Even if right now you have 1 to 2 viewers and it's just you and a friend, like you need to be prepared to understand that people are going to come in and lurk. And if you're not ready for that, then they're not going to go and engage. So you want to get into the habit of creating the conversation. So how do you do that? So the first thing that you can do is you can have 1 to 3 stories about you. Okay, so what I mean by that, think of like 1 to 3 stories you can always share, right? So this could be example, this can be a story of when you first started gaming. This can be a story about an event that you went to. This can be a story about your favorite TV show. Like you just want to have these stories in the back of your mind that you can share at any moment to be able to create engagement. Also, it becomes content, okay? So I just want you to start thinking about that and having those things in place. I can share stories about how I got saved on Xbox. I can share stories about how I love playing basketball. I can share stories about how I got into fitness. I can share about stories how I got into creating content. Like I can share stories about how I met my wife. Like there's tons of stories that I can share that can get my viewers to start to get to know me to potentially want to engage. And maybe I share a story that they relate with that then allows them to want to be able to create. The next thing you want to do is you want to have 1 to 5 questions, okay, to ask chat. Okay, this is going to be super important. So having questions that you can ask your chat, again, you can get into the habit of like, hey guys, you know, what's your favorite cereal? Or like, hey, what's your favorite music? Or hey, what's your favorite anime show? What's your favorite movie? You know, like you can think of these questions that are things that you want your viewer to be associated with. Hey, do you guys like to watch basketball? What's your favorite basketball team? Hey, do you like to work out? Hey, what's your favorite food? I can think of endless questions to be able to ask. So if you have those questions on deck, you can go ahead and start to create engagement in your chat. Even if it's one person, starting that conversation makes them feel relatable to you and wants to be able to have them stick around. Then you want to make sure that you always have a plan when going live, okay? Even if you have 0 viewers, always have a plan when you're going live. And what I mean by having a plan is that you're always thinking about making content. And the reason why you always want to be thinking about making content because it comes back here. Every time you go live, if you have a plan about making content, you're then creating soldiers that are going to be out there working for you, and the loop just continues to build. Few people find you, they join your community, they find your stream, you start sharing the stories, people start connecting with you, and then you keep making content and the loop just kind of goes around, okay? But here's a mistake that a lot of streamers make, especially when you're multi-streaming, okay? And I encourage you not to make this mistake, and if you have been doing it, it's okay, you can go ahead and correct it, okay? And that is to don't push people. And what I mean by that, don't push people. Don't have people on TikTok saying, come check out my Twitch. Don't tell people on Twitch to come check out your cake. Don't tell people on YouTube to come check out your Twitch, right? Let people watch your stream where they feel the most comfortable. So what you want to do is that you want to make sure that you are where they are. Don't make them come to you, you go to them, right? That's the point of multi-streaming. You want to tap into the people that want to check out your content on TikTok, so you're there. You want to have the people that want to check you out on Twitch to be there, and the people on YouTube and Kick, etc., right? You want to go to where the people are, not make the people come to you, but that's what the content does, but they get to watch on the platform they enjoy watching the most, okay? So again, the next thing is you don't want to make this mistake, which I see it all the time, is you want to treat chat like one, okay? You want to treat chat like one. You want to make it feel like it's a community, regardless of what platform they're on. That is the reason why when I do the multi-chat and I do the multi-streaming, I take off the icons. And if I'm going to have the chat on screen, everyone's going to be able to see the chat messages that are happening, making it feel a little bit more kind of collective. And you can start to incorporate and have conversations normally, as opposed to saying YouTube chat and Twitch chat. And don't make them feel like they're against each other and that you're like, hey, you know, Twitch chat is popping right now. Come on, YouTube, step it up. Like, that's not what this is about. This is about fostering community, and you want to make sure that everyone gets an equal experience of what they're able to see, okay? But what you do want to do, invite everyone to Discord. Okay, so you don't want to push people off to other streaming platforms, but you do want to send everyone to Discord, because at that point, then you have a little bit more control on where you start to funnel people. So let's say, for example, you're streaming on Twitch, on Kick, on YouTube, on TikTok, and everyone's watching you. But then you say, hey, if you guys want to be able to connect, come into my Discord. And again, if you haven't watched my Discord video, even if you have a Discord set up, at the end of that video, I show you how to properly invite people and how to get them to stay and engage in your Discord, okay? So make sure you watch that video, and again, it'll be in the description of this video. But when you invite everyone, then you can decide and say, you know what, this time I go live, I'm just gonna go live to Twitch. And in Discord, you let everybody know you're gonna go live. So now you can start funneling people from these that found you on these other platforms into Twitch if they want to watch you there. And that's how you can start growing individual platforms, okay? So that's gonna be super important. But here's the thing that you gotta do if you're gonna want to be able to have faster growth. If you want to grow your stream faster, you want to get more viewers watching you live, you want to get more people chatting in your community, then this is kind of the method or the strategy that I would follow or try to follow as best as possible to see faster growth. So to see faster growth, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to prioritize content and streaming second. And if you have limited time on what you're able to do because you're streaming part-time and you're just trying to do it when you have the availability, then I would try to commit to one long form a week, okay? And if you do that long form right, you can probably get 2 to 3 shorts from that long form, or just try to get 2 to 3 shorts from your stream, okay? 2 to 3 shorts a week, okay? And then what I would do is one live stream a week, okay, for 1 to 2 hours max. Okay. And what this is going to do, if you do this consistently, okay, over 90 days, okay, not only are you going to get better at making content, but every single week you're going to be able to have a video. That's going to give you 12 videos. Okay. That's going to give you anywhere from 24 to 36 shorts. Okay. And that's going to give you 12 streams. Okay. And what this is going to allow you to do is to consistently, with the content, okay, get people to find you even when you're offline. Remember, even when you're offline, you're going to see growth. That people are going to find you. You're then going to push them to your Discord so they can connect with you and also know when you're going to go live. And then you're going to go live once a week to build connection. Okay. And then as your community starts to grow, okay, you can then start to increase your live streams. Okay. So then you can go to 2 a week. Okay. But at the end of the day, what you want to think about, if you want to be able to grow, is that every time you increase the amount of live streams you do, you have to increase the amount of content you do. Okay. So if I had to choose what I'm going to do to grow faster, and I had to choose between doing 2 streams a week or doing 2 long form videos a week, I'm going to pick the 2 long forms because, again, there's only so many hours that I can be live, but those videos can live forever. But okay, if your stream still, and you follow all of this, and your stream still feels dead and no one's watching, then you want to go ahead and watch this video. where I talk about the thing that was killing my stream and what I did to be able to fix it to start getting people to come into my chat, find my stream, and to see real growth. Click that video right there, and I'll see you guys in the next one.